Hey guys, how's it going? In today's tutorial, we're going to continue using the pen tool, and we're going to be working with creating a logo in Illustrator. Alright, let's get right to it. So the first thing you should see is this illustration of a seahorse. I chose this one on purpose because of the fact that it's kind of easy to illustrate and will be good practice for you to experiment with designing logos and get to know some of the products, some of the features that are available for you in Adobe Illustrator. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have this guy right here, and if your Pathfinder is not already here, go ahead and go over to Windows and open up Pathfinders, and just put it aside for right now. Oops. Sorry, I moved over. Just put it aside for right now. Put it in one of these little corners because we're going to be using it for this one quite a lot. And then we're going to go ahead and start with our pen tool. Now remember, I'm going to go ahead and type it right here so you guys can remember as well. Control plus and Control minus. Zoom in and zoom out. Hopefully you guys can remember that, because this is how you zoom in and zoom out. Also by holding space bar to navigate. There we go. Because these are going to be very useful little shortcuts. So you're going to see me using them a lot. Control plus, Control minus, and then spacebar to navigate around our screen. First thing I'm going to want to do is go ahead and zoom in here and grab my pen tool. And I'm going to go ahead and start tracing this little guy. So I'm going to click on this little corner, come over to this corner, and just very carefully just create my first line. Then after that, I'm going to go ahead and come over to this corner here, and maybe. So first things, go ahead and click here and click on this corner. Now you're gonna see me doing this, and you're gonna want to copy exactly the way I'm creating this little effects here. So try your best. I know a lot of you are still kind of getting the hang of it, so it's not gonna be entirely perfect for some of you, but please refrain from having somebody else do this for you, because this is going to be like pretty much everything we do from now on. So just try to imitate what I'm doing here. I'm gonna go back one and maybe just go into here. And so I'm getting a lot of notifications currently, but it's okay. And then maybe, well, for this one, since it's right here, I could probably just click here and do the entire face. Alright, maybe not. Maybe I'll click on this one. Remember, Control Z to go back if we make a mistake. And here I can go ahead and just click there and bend this one a little bit like that. And so as you can see right now, I'm filling this in because I currently have it set to black. So I'm going to go ahead and swap that over so I create an outline. Get rid of my anchor point right here and click on this one. And just go ahead and put this in like that. And there we go. Command Shift A to deselect, or I forgot the shortcut, but just go ahead and go back over to your selection tool, and then now we continue and do the rest of the little unicorn here. I mean, he's not a unicorn. Oh my God. Just give me a second. I'm actually gonna go ahead and quit this, and hopefully it signs out entirely. We'll see. So we'll continue here. So this one right here curves this way, and you can kind of bring it in. So as you see, I don't know why this happens sometimes, but now it went into a into a no stroke. So just go ahead and click and make sure you're at black. Color and black. There we go. And so we'll just continue here with this little illustration here. Alright, so far it's looking pretty good. Hopefully it's looking pretty good for you as well. We'll go ahead and continue here. This is probably the hardest part, so we'll just do our best. And again, mine turned into transparent. I have no idea why it does that, but kind of want to see what I'm doing, so I'm going to go ahead and put black again. And there we go. So now we also have his little tail down at the bottom. And so now if I were to select all these, now, okay, so here's something that you have to keep in mind. A lot of people make this mistake. They're like, oh, well, I'm selecting it and then look what happens, Or you select it and then you try to move it and then look what happens. So in Illustrator, when you select an item, you're selecting the current outline. Like for example here. So if you want to move the outline, if you click here, notice how the mouse changes and how it changes once you're in the actual path. If you want to move it, you have to make sure you select the path, and then it'll move that actual path over. If you don't select the actual item you were working with, you're going to select something else. In this case, the image. And the image we no longer need, so I'll go ahead and grab this image and just move it over to the side here. And I'll go ahead and grab this guy right here. And I'm selecting all of them because right now currently they're all set to black. I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. Set everything over to black. Don't know why it keeps changing, but 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and flip it over so that it's all currently black right now. And from here, mine looks pretty good, but there's certain spots, that kind of look like they could use some work, like down here. There's this little anchor point, so I'm going to just kind of like extend these lines out a little bit. That looks a little better. Right here, it's a little pointy, so I'm going to go ahead and extend these lines out just a little bit right there. So that looks a little better now. And so now I provided these little colors here for you guys, and we're going to use those by using our eyedropper tool, which is the letter I shortcut here. We're going to select this little face here, click the eyedropper, and then click on the first one. Then we're also going to select this guy here, click the eyedropper tool, and click on that second one. Actually, for this one, we can click on this third one here. Nah, let's go with the second one. I like it better. And then for these last two, we're gonna go ahead and select this one over here. So now it's kind of giving it like some cool coloration to it, a little something to work with, right? So now we're gonna go ahead and select our pen tool again, and we're gonna choose that we don't want a fill, and we want a stroke here. So we're gonna double click. We're going to go ahead and go over to white. We want a white one. We're going to click here somewhere, and then somewhere in the center of this, and just kind of create like a line that goes like this. Click this out, come back over here, and just kind of get this to go somewhere there. That looks fine to me. And then we're going to select our mouse and deselect. So we should have something that kind of looks like this. We can adjust it as we see fit. So as I moved it, I kind of left this like a little not touching. So I'm gonna go ahead and extend that over, and then just kind of move this like that. Move this guy a little bit up, and there you go. So that looks pretty good to me. I also noticed this now. So with my selection tool, I'm gonna click here and just kind of like move this little handle a little bit up here. This guy a little bit up. There we go. That looks a little better. So now that we have this, this is when we start to use our tools down here. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is grab these two guys, click on this, divide, and so now we have this line that's dividing both of them. And if we were to click right here and right click, we can put ungroup. And so now we have this guy separated and this guy separated. So we have two. We're going to go ahead and select both of them. And by holding Alt on our keyboard, we're able to make a duplicate. So we're going to duplicate it and just drag over here. And we're going to actually select this guy now. So we're going to unite them. And then we're going to go to Object and Path. And we're going to click, Object and Path. And we're going to click Offset our path. Now what the Offset our path is going to do is we're going to give it like a little border around the actual shape that we created. So we're going to click offset, put -2 pixels, leave the 4 just like that, and you can click preview if it's available so you can see what we're doing here. We're going to click OK. And so now that we have that, we're going to select like everything, because now if you notice we have like two, one that's like large and one that's not. So we're going to select both, and we're going to click this guy right here to exclude the center part, and which leaves us with some like this. So now on this one, we're actually going to come to our colors here, and we're going to choose this second color, give it like a dark little coloration down there. Then we're going to bring this guy over, make sure he's on the top, and give this like little shape, coloration shape, and we're going to bring out our gradient tool for this one. Go ahead and click on our gradient, bring it out, and we're just going to change this more into a white color. Try to put it as white as possible. There we go, that's starting to look pretty good. And maybe this guy, change it a little more white as well. That looks too magenta. Something like that looks pretty good. This guy, we're going to actually turn him into white to blue. And right here where it has linear, we're going to change this to radial. And now you see the circles down here in the center, so we're going to actually grab our gradient tool and we're just going to kind of drag it a little bit bigger. There we go. So in this part, you know, yours might slightly look different, but you know, try your best as far as doing this. I'm gonna go with radial on this one as well, and just kind of grab my line tool here and just drag from here out. Just try your best to make this look you know, unique and different. So then we're gonna go ahead and divide this guys as well here. So we're gonna kind of do this and then bring it out this way. There we go, just like that. And then I'm going to click that I want the outline and deselect it. And I'm going to grab both of them and, you know, cut them in between. Right click and ungroup them. So now that they're ungrouped, we have two splits. And I'm going to go ahead and press I and kind of copy this guy here. Or copy this one actually. That one looks pretty cool. And I'm just going to play around with this. Grab this guy and maybe do something like that. There we go. That looks pretty good. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one open as well. So I'm gonna start this one from here, bring it in this way, and then end it right around there, and put outlines. Now right here, I'm gonna grab my selection tool and bring this inwards so that it's kinda. Let me zoom it in so that it's touching that corner. Then I'll select both of them, use the pathfinders, and oh, so it's already cut out. If you have to ungroup it, make sure you ungroup it. I'm gonna select I, kind of grab some of these and start it from the bottom. Now we're here. Yeah. Go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna leave that bottom part just as it is. And then I'll go ahead and grab my type tool and click here and just type C. Right there, and then I want this to be almost the same size, so I'll hold Alt and bring it downwards, and then double click and then just type horse. And now I can actually choose like my font, and I'm gonna go with here you can pretty much choose whatever you want. Let's see, I'm gonna go with this one here and press I and copy the same exact style. And for this, I'm actually gonna press I and just copy this coloration. We actually can't copy those colors unless we expand our letters. But once they're expanded, we can no longer type with them. So we're gonna go ahead and just click here and go to Object and Expand, and click OK. And then do the same for this one. Object, Expand Appearance. Object, expand, click OK. So now we have both of these expanded, and we can now click on our little gradients. So I'll go ahead and maybe grab some of these and just have it go from the bottom to the top, something like that. That looks kind of cool. And now I can go ahead and make a square right here, and press I and just make sure you have that one selected. So one of the cool things about Illustrator, we haven't used layers at all. It's creating layers right for us, and we can adjust where we put stuff by right clicking and going into Arrange, and then we can choose where we want stuff. So this background, I want to arrange it and I want to send it to the back. So now that it's in the back, we have this cool little design here. So now that we have this right here, we're gonna go ahead and just save this. So we're gonna go to Documents, Edit our Artboard, and we're just gonna bring this into where it touches all our artwork right here, because we don't really care about all this extra stuff. So we're just gonna bring everything in until it clicks. And then just click the arrow, and that's it. You can file, save as, and under logo illustrations you can have a folder for your finished files, and we can save it as a PDF and save it, and you're done. That's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you need any help, just raise your hand and let me know. We're going to be doing a lot of these little tiny logos so that you can practice the pen tool, get used to it, get used to a lot of the techniques and stuff that is available for you to use in Adobe Illustrator. Hopefully this was informative and you learned something good, and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you and goodbye.